I'm Dr. Bryan Wright, and this is Run to the Huddle. So what's in a name? I have, over the years, really respected when names have meaning and depth to them. One of my favorite companies that I named was Dry Thumb Properties. And Dry Thumb Properties happens to be the property holding company for Wright Physical Therapy, which I'm proudly wearing my quarter zip today from Wright PT. And Wright Physical Therapy gets to have certain clinics throughout all the clinics we serve people with because of these buildings that were either built or remodeled or bought and recreated. And years ago, I was ruminating on the essence of how you can actually add value. And I was reading these rules from Warren Buffett. And these rules essentially taught how you could expand wealth and prosperity in the lives of other people. And one of the rules on there was never suck your thumb on a good real estate deal. And I thought, well, there you go. Somewhere inside of that energy that I feel is the name for the real estate holding company. And simply enough, if you're not sucking your thumb on a real estate deal, it should be dry. And that's where Dry Thumb Properties came to be. And it just became something that was significant to me every time I heard the name. It had an energy to it. Now, I have named things in the past that didn't have that same energy. And I've just kind of committed to this fact that if it's not something that like burns inside every time I hear it, I don't want to name it that. I want to tell you how I got to Run to the Huddle, because that name excites me. It excites me every time I hear it. It reminds me not only of the lessons that I've learned growing up, but also it reminds me of an attitude or a dimension in my mind that I want to go to. And perhaps you feel the same way, because words create and describe. Yeah, they describe, but I would say that they probably create more than even describe. And so this phrase, Run to the Huddle, came to me when a friend and I were discussing the original name for the podcast. And the question came, is it a burning heck yes inside of your heart and soul? The name that I had originally come up with my marketing team. And the answer was not really, but it's the best one we've come up with. Maybe you've experienced this before, whether you were naming your car or you're naming your child or even your business. Like, what do I want to land on? And if it's not a heck yes, then we're not naming it that. So the question came to me from my friend, like, if you're going to name it, what's something, you said that your dad, your father, he's one of your top people in your life, and he is. My father means so much to me. Well, what did your father teach you that was significant to you? And for me, I started thinking about when I took judo lessons, and I started thinking about when I played basketball and football and track and all these different things that went through my head, experiences that I had with him. And the one that rose to the top was when I was struggling with my performance on the basketball team one particular season. And in between games, my father came up to me and he said, I noticed that you don't feel or look like you feel that good about your performance. And I was like, I really don't. Like, I'm not doing the good that I feel like I should. I've been practicing all these years and I don't feel like I am accomplishing what it is that I put all this energy and effort into. Maybe you felt like that before, where you're like working so hard and it just doesn't feel like you're getting the reception of what it is that you're working hard for. He looked at me and he said, until you run to every huddle, I don't want to hear you complaining about your performance. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, I see you as soon as timeout is called, you walk to the huddle. And I said, so that's a chance for me to recuperate, get my energy back. That's a time for me to kind of catch my breath. And he said, it's also a time for you to set the tone to your team that you're here to win. Let that settle in for just a little bit, right? Running to the huddle is one of these metaphors for me, and maybe literal, that when it's time to maybe take a little rest, it's time to just chill a little bit. That might be the best time to set the tone for what it means to win. And I think that it is a set apart type mindset. I think of some of the greatest leaders, athletes that ever accomplish great things. And they share a similar mentality. Of course, the first one that comes to mind is Kobe Bryant. I love Kobe Bryant. He's one of my favorite, not only players, but I think leaders that I've studied. And I know it sounds silly to a degree, but Kobe Bryant has done a number of things to help restore energy to his teams, energy to the groups that he went to in order to create success. The Olympic basketball team comes to mind, the Redeem team, if you want to call it that, right? After America got their bronze medal and Kobe Bryant got called to be the captain, he set the tone. And if you ever want to watch the documentary on that, Netflix has a great documentary on that. But the essence of it is that he had that Mamba mentality, which was when you can walk, everybody will probably walk because that's what everybody can do. But if you really want to be successful, you set yourself apart and you set the tone for anybody watching by doing almost the opposite of what you would expect. And I'm grateful to my father for this. He's like, run to the huddle. It's not going to expend ridiculous amounts of energy, but it is going to set the tone that when you get in that huddle, you are energized to get the team together for the purpose with which you are playing. Now, in business, it's the same thing, right? There are times when you just want to take the 5 o'clock hour, punch the clock and head out. And I believe very much in being energized wherever we go. So when it's time to leave work, we go home, we focus on home. Regardless of that situation, I still think that the mentality of run to the huddle applies, especially when you run home, right? When you're running to the huddle, when you go home, you're saying, I'm not just going to walk through the door half tired. Oh, it's an exhausting day, bringing half-hearted energy because you're exhausted. You're setting the intention for how much you want to bring to the table when you come home. I don't want to be misunderstood with this either. This is not some kind of a always turn the intensity up to a 10 type discussion. It's more turn the intention up to a 10. There's a difference between constant intensity at a 10, which would be literally exhausting, and intention to a 10. Wherever you go, set intention. If you're going to rest with intention. Put your phone aside. Don't doom scroll. Read a book, journal. If you're going to play sports and you're down by 10 points with 2 minutes left, are you planning to just lose by a little bit less, or are you going to win at all costs? That's what run to the huddle means to me. When your team isn't doing so well and you feel like you've tried everything that you can, have you actually taken the mindset to say, am I running to the huddle to go and collaborate with my team and set the tone and establish almost like a thermostat what I want the room temperature to be versus a thermometer, which just takes the temperature? Am I a thermostat here? Am I actually running to the huddle and saying, this is the temperature that I want to set? Or am I a thermometer saying, man, the frustration's in the room. I feel frustrated. They feel frustrated. We're going to lose this game most likely because we're down by 10. Or in a business sense, we're not winning and let's just keep on trying and just hopefully something turns about. Really, that's what run to the huddle is to me. It's this idea of resetting my mind that I can be a leader, that I am at cause over my environment and not just the effect, right? The effect is somebody who feels like no matter what I do, things just keep on hitting me upside the head. The cause, if I believe I'm the cause and I run to the huddle of life, I run to the huddle of game, I run to the huddle of business, of family, I'm setting the tone for what I want that temperature to be. And so with regard to my life lessons here, I remember, again, taking judo lessons, and I'm on the mat and we were doing these side kicks. This was years ago when I was a child. We were doing these side kicks, and somebody that was up above me on the mat, he was much older than me, really a young adult, and I'm thinking around 8 or 9, and I was at this local college that I'm at here. And as we were doing the side kicks and thwapping the mats, right, we were whapping the mats right next to us, right, over and over. the guy behind me, he was kicking so hard that it was dropping him down further and further and further, closer and closer to my face. And sure enough, about the final 2 or 3 kicks that we were expected to do, this huge and powerful and massive foot comes and smashes me in the face, and it completely opens up my nose. And I'm just this young kid just trying to figure out like how to start the basics of judo, let alone get like completely waylaid by a black belt that was behind me. And what ended up happening is I came off the mat. I couldn't see straight, blood everywhere. And I was talking to my dad again, and my dad grabbed me and he was like, "Hey, I know this hurts right now. I'm going to hold you for a minute, but I want you to understand that when you get hurt like this is the time not to quit, right? This is the time to actually engage. So right now you feel like you never want to come back to judo again. You feel like, this isn't for me. And I want to tell you, if you can get through this moment, if you can get through this pain, if you can get through this accident, and you're able to come back and face the fire, you will be better off for the rest of your life and everything else that you choose." And that's what I want Run to the Huddle to be about, right? I want to choose to lean into things that are sometimes uncomfortable so that I can make an impact in the world. You can make an impact in the world and live a life truly worth living, that by the time I pass away from this mortal existence, I have the ability to run to the huddle on the other side, if you will, right? It's not just fading out and then kind of walking to the huddle. I want to run to the huddle as I come out of this life too. And I want everyone who resonates with that message to have the same experience and to have the same beautiful joy that comes on the other side of running to the huddle. So that's what it's about. I hope the energy of it resonates with you as it has with me. I'm grateful to my friend for reminding me that if it's not a heck yes in your soul, don't name it something that is okay or good enough. Run to the Huddle is a heck yes for me. And every time I say it, I'm ready to lean into those types of difficult situations. And I invite you to do the same here.